And we are back to the fifth and the final segment of the GSMC Basketball Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. And in this fifth segment, we are going to be talking about Mark Armstrong. And for those of you guys who have no idea who he is, he used to be we were in the same class of 2020, and we graduated in the same year, and we've been in the same school together. He was in the exact same high school. He's the leading scorer. He has the all-time points in all of the program's history, and he was able to do this under a COVID year, which is probably not going to get talked about as much as it should. But aside from that, our high school, they recently put out an announcement talking about him participating in the Summer League. Now, this is going to be the first time that anyone from that high school has ever participated in an NBA basketball game. And regardless whether you guys want to say that this game counts, whether it's the Summer League, the Summer League doesn't count, blah, blah, blah. Personally, I don't think that's a really big deal. This is an NBA court. This is NBA basketball, and he's going to be the first ever alum to participate in that regard. Obviously, Villanova, they've had several players come in from and be successful in the NBA. There's Jalen Brunson, there's Josh Hart, there's DiVincenzo, there's Mikal Bridges, who are all going to play on the exact same team. So Villanova is no stranger to bringing talent to the NBA. Now, the statement that the high school put out, the all-time leading scorer in St. Peter's Prep basketball history, Mark Armstrong, will play with the Brooklyn Nets in the 2024 Summer League in Las Vegas, Nevada. He signed with the Nets as an undrafted free agent on June 28th, and he spent the last 2 years playing at Villanova University, where he was a 2-year starter and averaged 24 minutes per game and 8.4 points per game in his sophomore campaign with the Wildcats. He becomes a member of the team that plays their home games at Barclays Center, located 21 miles away from his hometown, South Orange, New Jersey, and 6 miles away from Grand and Warren. Now, the Summer League, it's an off-season tournament that features rookies, sophomores, and NBA G League affiliate players, and the prestigious showcase started in 2002 and has grown in the past few years as a notable event on the NBA calendar. The Nets, they will complete their first Summer League game on July 12th against the Indiana Pacers. Tip-off is scheduled for 8 p.m. and the game will be aired live on NBA TV. And they also released another statement to please tune in to watch Prep's very own compete against the best basketball players in the world. And the community is looking forward to cheering on Mark as he begins his professional basketball career. So again, his career with Villanova, while I thought it was rather short and I genuinely wasn't expecting him to I was hoping that he would get picked in the draft, but he didn't get picked in the draft. But I wasn't expecting him to sign as an undrafted free agent. I honestly didn't even know that was a thing up until he signed as an undrafted free agent. I mean, I know that they acquire other players via the G League and things of that nature, and a lot of players end up making the roster despite not being drafted. But I genuinely just wasn't expecting this move coming in from the Brooklyn Nets of all teams. They are my favorite team to watch they are my team, I should say. Not really my favorite team to watch because they've been playing some really mediocre basketball. But now that he's going to be on the roster, now there's actually something to look forward to. And, I hope that he has a very successful career with the Brooklyn Nets, or however his journey in the NBA, wherever his journey in the NBA takes him. And he's a very competent scorer. He has ridiculous hops. He knows how to jump. He's ridiculous. I mean, I saw him in high school, and he was by far one of the best players that I've seen on a high school level. And he even played for Team USA's under-18 team, where he ended up winning a gold medal. So that most definitely must have boosted his chances of making it into the NBA. So I just wanted to point this out in the fifth segment because, again, this is one of the only segments where I actually get to talk about topics that are closer to me and just topics that I feel like are not really newsworthy topics, I should say, because this isn't obviously going to make the headlines of any sort of big news network like, let's say, ESPN. Like, obviously they're going to be talking about Kawhi Leonard as opposed to talking about someone like this, but I feel like this is sort of something that should be brought to everyone's attention because, again, he is an alumni from my high school, and this is something that is in turn really important to me. So that's really all I have for this fifth segment. Again, tune into the Summer League. Hopefully he performs pretty well, and hopefully he doesn't get the same amount of criticism as Bronny James gets in the Summer League. But aside from that, that's all I have for you guys on this segment. So again, it's a much shorter segment than a lot of the other segments, but thank you so much for tuning in to the GSMC Basketball Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show, leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. As usual, please remember to use the link in the description to get your comments recognized, or the link displayed below the ticker on every show segment. That is gsmcpodcast.net. Really helps the show, makes it much more interactive between myself and you guys. That is all I have for you today on this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Nelson, and as always, take care.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go.